Hey Wesley, do you know what drives the interest rates?
No.
You know what? That's okay, buddy. I don't think a lot of people know, honestly. So I thought I'd make a quick video and try to shed a little light on the subject. I'm Dan Lucchesi with the Lucchesi Property Group, and we do a lot of commercial and residential real estate, both in Southwest Colorado and in the Metro Denver market. And so, all right, probably the biggest thing and the most important thing to address is the Fed funds rate. Almost every person I talk to, and I'm sure almost every lender is talking to, we get the question in some form or another, or someone makes a comment about, oh, the Fed is supposed to lower rates. And it's super, super important that we understand that the mortgage rates are not tied to the Fed funds rate. So there is no direct correlation, in fact. Let me say that again. There is no direct correlation between the Fed funds rate and the mortgage rates. Uh, they influence the market that determines the mortgage rates and what is said at the meeting, but you can see this as proof. If you have any doubt of what I'm saying, you can go back and look at two recent examples of where the Fed met, lowered the Fed funds rate, and mortgage rates went up. Most of the time when the Fed funds rate is lowered, the mortgage rates tend to go down. But clearly there is not a one-to-one correlation or even a direct correlation. So here's what does happen though. Um, the one rate that you want to follow is the 10-year US Treasury. Sometimes the SOFR rate, which is a newer rate, most lenders are not using that. Most lenders are following the 10-year US Treasury, which you can go on any stock ticker place and look up and see what it's doing. But basically, that is the rate that lenders are building a margin on top of. Now, we could go into a much more complicated and in-depth answer, and maybe we will do that in a future video. I'll bring a lender in to speak on that because they can speak a little more poignantly on that subject. But basically, the mortgage-backed security buyers, so these large corporate investors that are buying securities of multiple mortgages that are packaged together, they're the ones that get to dictate what the rates really ultimately need to be. And then the lenders build a spread on top of that. And so um, the rate really, if the Fed meets and lowers the rates, but Jerome Powell has, negative comments to say about the direction of the economy, that will tend to freak the investors out a little bit. That's probably not the best word, but we'll go with it. They get a little nervous, they get apprehensive, and so now if they're going to buy those mortgage-backed securities, they're looking for a better return on their investment. There's more risk, so they want more return, more reward. And so that's basically the correlation between the Fed funds rate and the mortgage rates. So, guys, really, we can't predict what the mortgage rates are going to do with super clarity, but I would follow news from the Mortgage Bankers Association of America, the MBA, and I would also pay attention to the 10-year US Treasury and the direction that it is heading. So hopefully that's informative, and if you guys are interested, I'd love to get with a lender and do another video where we dive even more in depth about this topic. So anyways, let me know if I can ever help you with a real estate question.